Hey guys, how's it going? You may have noticed I took a week off from doing the videos last week. I had lots of stuff to do, and I had to get it done, so I just didn't have time. But anyway, we're back on track. We're going to be doing one video a week. It'll be every Thursday. Um, Nice hair, Dan. Um, yeah. So we're approaching, geez, 500 followers on the Facebook page. So that's really cool. If I can convert some of them to press the subscribe button, that'd be kind of cool. But anyway, today I'm going to bring you a quick update on the 75 4x4 square body. Um, you know, I didn't do videos, but I did do some work. So there's that, and and then I'm going to get on the 49, and at the end of the video, I'd like to have the cab sitting upright. So that's where we're at. So let's just get after it. Okay, so here we are on this thing. Cab corner's done, both sides now. So all the metal work is done on the cab. You can tell it looks like a bit of a porcupine here. This was all smashed into hell, and there was about 3/4 of an inch of body filler on it. So I actually chiseled it off and pulled all the dents out, and it was acting like an oil can, but it's not doing that anymore. Popping in and out. So yeah, we've got that fixed up. So I'm just going to clean up all these pins, grind them off, and get rid of the rest of this little bit of section of paint, and then we're going to mask it off and spray it in epoxy, the roof on top included, and then we're going to let it set for a day or two to cure before we put anything else on it. So yeah, so we're moving along. There was a good dent here too. So yeah, so anyway, the cab corner's done, looks good, and gaps for the fenders are next. So that's where we're at on this thing. So now we're gonna move on to the 49 for a little bit and get that cross member welded in and the exhaust hanging, and maybe get that cab flipped back down the way it's supposed to be. So that's where we're at right now. Okay, so it's after supper. The 75 has been sprayed with epoxy on the roof and the back, cab corners and all that. So yeah, it's out in the sun to cure. So now I'll turn over to this. I've marked out these white marks there and there where my cross member is going to go. So I got to clean the paint off the frame so I can weld it. Got to have clean steel to weld. So I'm going to weld it top and along each side. The underneath, I'm going to get that when I get it up on the hoist. It'll be a lot easier to do it from underneath when it's in the air, because I'm not crawling under there. I'm getting too old for that shit. Anyway, so this is the hanger I'm going to use. Basically, there's two pins. One pin's attached to the muffler or the pipe, and the other pin's attached to the cross member, and that rubber holds the two together and absorbs some of that vibration and stuff. So these come off of I believe it's an '08 or '07 Malibu or Grand Prix or something. I only have the one right now. The wife drives a '08 Malibu. Maybe I can steal one of hers and use a coat hanger in her car. I don't know. But there's a Kenny U-pull just around the corner from here. I can go there and grab one. So yeah, so I'm going to weld the pins onto the cross member first before I weld it in place, and yeah, get right to it. Okay, so she's welded in along the top, down the sides, both sides. These are the pins here. Now this rubber is going to hang from the top hole down, and there will be another pin coming off the pipe here. That'll slide onto both pins. We'll weld a little knob on the end here on both so the rubber can't come back off. And yeah, should be hanging on its own. So this distance here is 1 3/4 inches. So that's what I got to make it center to center for this pin and the pin attached to the pipe. And what I'm using for those pins is it's actually it's a jack handle from one of those scissor jacks. You know, you crank it and up she comes. Yeah, I took it from the wife's car. She doesn't change tires anyway, so she probably doesn't even know what that thing is. So now it's exhaust holders. Yeah, so I'm gonna get on cutting, bending, and getting the right bends in it, and then I'm gonna weld it to the exhaust pipe, and then we can hang our exhaust. So that'll be great. Then I can take the cab and flip her back down and get doing some work on that firewall, and get her bolted in. So that's where we're at, and I'm going to get on those pins for the pipe right now. Okay, well, so it's getting late. I'm gonna call it a night. I did bend up the pieces of rod to weld to the pipe. So first thing tomorrow morning, that's what I'm gonna get at. Weld that on. We'll get the exhaust hanging on its own, and hopefully I can flip the cab back upright and you know, figure out where I've got to cut my firewall to make everything fit. So we're going to get on that first thing in the morning, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so my pins are welded in, and that's the end result. You got the rubber holding it. Now this whole thing here is going to want to flop, because I'm picking up only one side of the weight of the muffler, so it's going to want to turn down like so. So I'm just going to put in a temporary crosser here, wire up these, because that's going to be behind the box. I can put in proper hangers after, and that should stabilize the whole thing. So yeah, both sets of pins are in, they're all lined up, ready for the rubber to hang it. And I'm just going to wire it here, put a crosser in here, wire that there, and then I'm going to have to cut out my floor and my firewall and flop the cab down. So that's where I'm at, and we're just going to carry on. Okay, so the exhaust is hanging on its own. There's no buckets and things underneath holding it up, so that's good. The cab is tilted back down. Now my next thing I've got to do is clearance the firewall here for my transmission. So I'm going to have to measure and mark that all out, cut it, and then I can actually put the cab into place. But I'm going to have to tilt it back one more time. I got to paint a few spots where I ground to weld, paint up that cross member and that sort of thing. But yeah, this will give me an idea of where I need to cut it and make clearance. So get that done. That'll probably be in the next video. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, well, there you have it. Pretty much got to where I wanted to be. I'm gonna do some fancy measuring and estimating and whatever, and get the firewall cut and everything else. The transmission cover, the factory one, I've already taken off. So once I get that into position, I'll flip it back, paint up everything I got to do, and then put it into place for the last time. Put some rubber mounts in there, and bolt her down. Yeah, like I said, we're approaching 500 followers on Facebook, so check it out. It's there's a lot of cool stuff there, and you know, hit the subscribe button. It's not difficult. Doesn't cost anything. No one's going to harass you, give you emails, try and sell you stuff. It's not going to happen. It's just subscribe so you can check out the videos, and I'd appreciate it. Um, yeah, I've got a ton of body work to do on that 75, so I'm going to be getting at that. That epoxy should be set up now, and so I'll be bringing that back in. It's got to be inside because it's too cold out. It was like almost, we had frost warning last night, so winter's coming, man. Already, I can't believe the summer's almost gone. Um, and yeah, get the cabin place, dress up the firewall real nice, clean it all up, get some paint on it. Then I can start putting, maybe get the box in place. But I also have the shock mounts and the fuel tank to put in before I do that. So there's a ton of stuff to do. It just keeps piling on. But, what else am I going to do? So, yeah, subscribe, hit the little bell, and, if you don't do anything else, get in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.